Okay, hello and welcome. Oh, there's a light thing. Hello and welcome, everyone. My name is Lainey. I am here on behalf of the Missouri Association for College Admission Counseling, and I'm here just to moderate and get this presentation started. You are not here to listen to me. You're here to learn about University of Tennessee. So I'm excited that we have some partners here to talk to you about their beautiful school. Just a couple orders of business. As you have questions, feel free to go ahead and type them into the Q&A box. We have an awesome representative from Tennessee that will be answering questions in the Q&A. And then please keep your camera and your microphone off. There will be more sessions on the MOACAC website, so definitely check those out if you're interested. A lot of colleges to be interested in. And without further ado, I'm going to pass the mic to my new friend, Kevin, and he's going to tell you all about Tennessee. So Kevin, you can go ahead and share your screen and take it away.
Where's it at? There we go. Cool. Hey, everyone. Greetings from Rocky Top. My name is Kevin Berg, and I'm based in the Memphis area. I also have my colleague, Shanae Nolan, on. She will be answering questions, but her and I work with students and families from the Missouri area, so we're excited to be here tonight. And again, if you have questions, you can put those in the chat, or I can address some questions later on after the presentation. So a little about the University of Tennessee. We are located in Knoxville, Tennessee, which is about 2.5 hours east of Nashville. We are the third largest city in the state, and we are an urban experience. We are right in downtown Knoxville, situated along the Tennessee River, but we're only 45 minutes away from the Smoky Mountains. And so I feel like our experience provides students a great college experience for their 4 years. And we'll talk a little more about that later on here. Couple of things to note: we are a large public university, 24,000 undergraduate students, but you'll see our faculty to student ratio is 17:1. And so as you dive into your classes, your courses will become much smaller along the way. 70% of our classes do have 30 students or less. And so you're going to get that experience of working with faculty through undergraduate research, building relationships with those individuals. We do have some of those larger lectures. You may have 200 students in a class, but we offer supplemental instruction to go along with it during those off days. And so you're going to have a professor that's teaching the course, and then you may have a TA or an upperclassman that would be providing you tutoring and assistance throughout the week with that class. 89% of our students receive some form of financial aid and scholarships, and 84% of our graduates report that they are getting a job or going on to grad school 6 months after graduation. So we are the flagship and land grant institution for the state of Tennessee. We have about 87% of our students do come from Tennessee. However, we do have that growth for out-of-state recruitment. So, and out-of-state students to join our campus. So if you are looking at coming to Tennessee, we definitely encourage you to come over and visit later on, as we are open right now. We have over 360 different programs. We are Division I athletics, a member of the Southeastern Conference. I believe we are in Mizzou's division, so we do play them every year. So jumping into the different 9 schools and colleges on our campus, I'll talk to you a little about the departments and what they offer our students. Our Herbert College of Agriculture has about 1,000 students. Obviously, you see that agriculture, so we do offer some of those courses. However, we are one of only 30 vet schools in the country, and so we do offer an animal science degree for those students who may have an interest in going on to vet school. A lot of our students will work with the professors over there and build relationships so that they are competitive when they know the faculty when they are applying for admission into the vet school. Environmental studies is found in here, wildlife ecology and fisheries, as well as food science. This is a hidden gem. And we all love to eat. And so one of the cool things is that we have a partnership with Butch's Baked Beans. They're actually based in Knoxville. And we have a food science tasting lab on our campus. And so students are working with Butch's to create new products before they ever hit the grocery shelves. And students have the opportunity to try those foods. The great thing about this major is that a student comes out 60 to 70,000 a year for a salary. So if you do have that interest with science, this is a great pathway to look at. Our College of Architecture and Design program is a top 15 program in the country. We offer architecture, interior architecture, and graphic design. Our College of Arts and Sciences is our largest college. It is our liberal arts college. So you're going to find in here the social sciences such as psychology, sociology, political science, legal studies, our music department, as well as this is where our pre-health and our pre-law advising happens. Our students most likely major in biological sciences, and our pre-health advisors are going to work with students in getting into medical school. For us, our UT Med School is based back in Memphis, as we have about 5 or 6 hospitals where our students do internships, research, fellowships, and that includes St. Jude's Hospital as well as Le Bonheur Children's Hospital and those mix of hospitals. 3.75 is the average GPA for a student graduating from UT going on to medical school. And we are going to work with you to make sure you are prepared for med school with prerequisites, MCAT placement, as well as figuring out where to go. Same with law school. We're going to help you with the LSATs. Our Haslam College of Business is a top 30 business school in the country. We have 12 different majors in there. Nationally known programs include supply chain management, accounting, and marketing. Again, with our location being in East Tennessee, we are only 3 hours from Atlanta, 3.5 hours from Charlotte, 2.5 hours from Nashville. So along with Knoxville, we can get you guys into larger regional areas. Actually, we had 2 students last year from the Haslam College of Business that interned with and had an internship with the Atlanta Braves. And so they were working on their social media campaigns and marketing campaigns with them. Our College of Communication and Information offers our broadcasting, journalism, advertising, and public relations, and an information science degree. So we have hands-on experience on campus with those majors, as we have a TV station, radio station, as well as a newspaper for students to get exposed to that. Our College of Education, Health, and Human Sciences does offer early childhood education, special education, as well as kinesiology for those students who may have an interest in working as an athletic trainer. We can provide that student with the experience, and the major also works for students who would like to go on to physical therapy as it completes the prerequisite courses for that. Our Tickle College of Engineering is another nationally known program, top 30. We offer 12 different majors in here, and 2 of our unique programs that we have are nuclear engineering as well as aerospace engineering. 60% of our students do a co-op, which a lot of times is a field experience at an actual engineering firm, where students take a semester off of school and get that experience, and then they come back to campus for the next semester. The great thing about those field experiences is that they actually get paid. So a lot of our students will use that money they earn to pay their tuition. Our College of Nursing, we do offer a Bachelor's of Science in Nursing, and there's 2 programs for admission. There's a direct admit as a high school senior, and we then have the prerequisites for your first 2 years as a student on campus, and then you would apply at the end of your sophomore year. We also have the College of Social Work, which is a Bachelor's of Science in Social Work, or a student can stay around for 1 more year to get a master's. So with those competitive programs, College of Architecture and Design encourages a portfolio. So if a student has that in the admissions process, I definitely would encourage you to submit that over. Our College of Nursing, they take 1,200 students typically apply a year for that direct admit. We accept around 400 students, and typically 180 to 190 students will take us up on that offer. They do require an essay in the application, and they're really wanting to know why you want to be at UT. What experiences do you have as a nurse? And so an essay is required for that. In the last couple of years, that has been a big factor in how, in how we determine admissions with nursing. Our Tickle College of Engineering does a student predictor index. So what we do is we take the student's high school GPA, multiply that by 10, and then we add the math score off of the ACT, which has to be a minimum of a 25. Based on that equation, if it's over 60, a student is good to go for admission into the Tickle College of Engineering. We also are doing test optional this year, and the requirement for a student who applies test optional will have to do a math placement test in lieu of not having the ACT. We do offer a free pharmacy direct admit program where a student can begin a pharmacy school right away. And then for the School of Music, it is competitive through an audition process. So if you want to major or minor in music, everyone has to do an audition your senior year, and those typically occur in February. So a couple things I just want to highlight outside the classroom. Our Student Success Center. These are two areas that I want to focus on when it comes to career development and being successful at UT as a student. Our Career Center works with students in order for internships and getting that first job after graduation. They're going to work with students on cover letter writing, resume writing. We bring in employers for mock interviews. They will sponsor those job fairs. And so utilize those resources throughout your 4 years. You know, you may want to try to get an internship or a field experience early on, knowing you want to make sure it's the right fit for that major and career pathway. Our Academic Success Center is going to provide you the tutoring and the resources on our campus. So we have a writing lab. If you're maybe working on a paper and you have writer's block, go over there and someone will read your paper and help you bring it up from a B to an A. We have tutoring for the math courses. A lot of our students with business and engineering are taking calculus. And so we provide those resources for our students on campus. Freshmen are required to live on campus for the first year. We have 14 residence halls and 3 styles of housing. Community style, traditional 30 to 40 people on a floor. Guys go to 1 bathroom, girls go to another. We also have suite style housing, which is like a mini apartment, 4 to 6 people with a living room, bedrooms, and bathrooms. The third option is a pod style housing where students are 2 people in a room, but there are more bathrooms scattered throughout the hallway. So only 4 to 6 people would share a bathroom, and it's sort of a combination of community style meets that suite style. We also have 14 living and learning communities on our campus. This is a great way if you want to live and learn with other students who share that same academic interest as you. We have experiences based on engineering, nursing, entrepreneurship, fine arts, and general academia. So you're going to find that your floor programming is fun yet educational. You may sponsor an on-campus film night for the campus community. You may bring in guest speakers to learn more about the majors you have an interest in. So for those that would like to live and learn with other students, a learning community could be a good fit for you. We have over 600 club organizations on our campus. They range from those that are based on your major, as well as social justice, multicultural, religion, as well as the fun organizations such as the Cardboard Club, where you get together and play card games, board games. For you Harry Potter fans, yes, we do have a Quidditch club. And another unique club is the Ukulele Club. So pretty much you have anything on our campus for a student organization. And that's the one thing we want to see in the admissions process is bring your leadership and passion. Continue with the organizations that you have been involved in high school, but look at trying new things on campus. We have a campus activity board. They plan the events that happen throughout the year on campus. Student government. They are a voice for the student body and report back to the chancellor what the students want. So we can get involved in government on our campus. We have, along with Division I athletics, we have club sports, not as competitive as the SEC, but we have 30 of those. And the great thing about it is everyone can try out for it, and you are still traveling to area college, competing against other people. So not as competitive as the SEC, but you still get that experience. Intramurals, get a group of your friends together for an evening of slow pitch softball, dodgeball, volleyball, and then the rec center itself. We have cardio equipment, weight equipment. We offer exercise classes. So that's all going to be built in with your student fees, so you have access to that stuff. 22% of our students are involved in Greek life on our campus, and we have 48 fraternities and sororities. So with this, with rushing this year, it was done online, and the fraternities and the sororities are able to live in the houses this year. And finally, our Vol Success teams. This is something that's new this year, where you're going to have, when you come to UT in the fall as a student, you're going to have your academic advisor, your academic coach, and someone from our one-stop office, which is a hybrid office of admissions, financial aid, registrar, and bursar's office. And so you will have 3 different people on your campus that can be a resource for you. So maybe you have a hold on your classes. Why is that? You can reach out to that one-stop contact and they will provide you that answer. So this is one of the things where we do like to bring that smaller experience to our student and provide the customer service. Finally, study abroad. We have over 50 different countries, and experience can happen for 2 weeks or up to a whole full academic year. So looking at Knoxville, again, we are 3rd largest city in the state, about 250,000 people. Our backyard is the Smoky Mountains. So for those people that have been up to Dollywood, Gatlinburg, and Pigeon Forge, we are right there. And so it provides us a great location. Over 800 miles of hiking trails in the area, and Knoxville itself has over 100 miles of hiking just within the city. We are an artsy kind of town. We're historic and a vibrant downtown. We are the maker city. We actually have over 150 artisans that call Knoxville home. So that includes painting, fashion design, glass blowing, ceramics. And so we are an artisan community, and so our city embraces that. You know, that's also through our wide range of festivals. We are home to the International Biscuit Festival. And our Tennessee Theater actually brings in Broadway productions from December to July. One of my favorite events when I go to Knoxville is Concerts on the Square. This happens on Friday nights, and basically there are bands on the square in downtown Knoxville. This is a sense of where you can see UT students and people in the city of Knoxville coming together. And finally, these are some of our employers that are based in the Knoxville area. Either students are doing internships at these locations, or they have gotten jobs after graduation. Regal Cinemas corporate is based in Knoxville. Discovery Inc., they own HDTV, Food Network, and the Travel Channel. Mastercraft and Sea Ray, so boats and boats with that. Magnavox, Pilot Corporation, which is the Pilot Flying J gas stations around the country, as well as Oak Ridge National Laboratory. Actually, this is outside of Knoxville, and this is where the first atomic bomb was developed. So I want to focus next, guys, on the application process. As I said earlier, we are test optional. And so students are not required to submit an ACT. However, a student can also submit an ACT if they have them as well. We give equal consideration to both in that holistic review that we use. So there are 2 ways to apply. One of those is through vip.utk.edu or the Common App. Regardless, everyone will get a VIP account after they've completed the app. This is your portal to the University of Tennessee. So this is where you're going to get notified from us of admissions events that are going to happen. This is where you will get your admissions decision. If you want any added to us, any updated documents or anything that we should know about you, you have that option in your VIP account. So for both test optional and tests, some of the things that are required are the submitted online application, a completed self-reported academic report. We require that students self-report their grades. So you're going to log into this system, and it is different than the application, and enter how your high school transcript looks like. So you're going to enter it verbatim. You will upload that unofficial transcript, and then we are going to take it and review it and complete your file. The $50 application fee, as well as one required essay and extracurricular activities. So 7 prompts are from the Common App, and we want to see just what you're involved in, your extracurricular activities, leadership, community service, volunteering. What do you do in the community? For that student who is applying test optional, we do have an additional essay that they need to complete. And I'll be here on the next slide. But for both test optional and applying with test, letters of recommendation are optional. They are needed though for the competitive scholarship application the student will receive, and the supporting statement. That is an open-end statement if there's anything else that we should know about you that's not reflected on the application. So that test optional application is essay is, we believe vol is a verb and leadership is a willingness to act. Provide an example of how you've demonstrated leadership to make a positive impact in your community. Describe the impact of your efforts and why it was meaningful to you. The other thing you will see on there is that when you start the application, it will ask you to either select, I choose to submit an ACT or SAT scores, or I choose to be reviewed for admission without an ACT or SAT score. So you have the opportunity to select that right off the bat. The other thing is, if a student applies test optional now, they can switch to ACT later on if they have the opportunity to take a test. But if a student selects ACT now, they cannot go test optional. So again, with the self-reporting, you will look at your unofficial transcript and enter how your unofficial transcript is noted in this SAR. We will then recalculate your recalculate your GPA as we look at the core subject areas of English, math, science, social studies, and foreign language. So we want to see that you are taking advantage of the rigors offered at your high school. With the SAR, there are tutorial videos, and I encourage you to check out that website, admission.utk.edu/SRAR if you have any questions. Again, as I said earlier, our admissions is a holistic review, but we want to see that you are taking advantage of the college prep curriculum offered at your high school. So we look at these subject areas, and we will actually award you weight for taking APs, IBs, dual enrollment, as well as honors. So you will see here how courses are weighted. If the student is taking regular coursework, they will get no weight, but if they got an A in that class, the final value for that will be an A, will be a 4.0. If a student took honors English their freshman year and got an A, instead of a 4.0, we will give them a half a point and they will receive a 4.5 in that course. And then finally, if students have APs, IBs, dual enrollment, and they get an A in that class, instead of a 4.0, it will be a 5.0. So the other thing to note is that one of the things is we have our dates that are actually, okay, here we go. For admission, starting at the beginning, our early action deadline is November 2nd. Typically it's November 1st, but given November 1st is on a Sunday this year, we moved it to November 2nd. So for a student who would like to be considered for competitive scholarships and honors and scholars programs, you have until November 2nd to apply. For those students that want regular admission, you can apply by December 15th. And everyone needs to let UT know by May 1st to where they are going to confirm their enrollment. That is sort of the national deadline. I will tell students though that if they know UT is the right fit, the sooner that they confirm their enrollment after they've been accepted, the sooner they're going to be able to start selecting for housing and signing up for student orientation. Couple of things to note with the competitive scholarships. Once your application is complete, within a couple or submitted, in a couple of days, you will get our competitive scholarship application. This is monies that are tied in with departmental scholarships, other academic scholarships, as well as your extracurricular involvement and leadership. That deadline to get that scholarship in is due December 15th, and I highly encourage students to do the event, to do the scholarship, because you never know what monies you could get from that. The other thing is we have an honors program at UT. We have 4 different programs, and in the application, you will be able to select if you're interested in honors. We have 3 programs that students can select on the application. One of them being 1794, that is a 2-year program where students do honors for 2 years and then have the option of transferring into our Chancellor's Honors Program, which is more of a standard honors program noted at other SEC institutions. And then we have the Honors Leadership Program, where it's academic focused, but also leadership focused. You actually will graduate with a leadership certificate as well. So you have to have a 3.8 weighted core GPA and a 28 super score. And we are also holistically reviewing these students for honors that are applying test optional. For our top scholarship, which is 15, for our top honors program, which is 15 students a year, there is a scholarship that is available. That is the Haslam Scholars, and that needs a 4.031 ACT. So with that said, the decision release dates. So if you apply by November 2nd, you will have a decision by mid-December. If you apply December 15th, you will have for regular admission, you will have a decision mid-February. Some of those admissions decisions that you see down there are admit, deny, defer, and road to Rocky Top. Admit and deny are pretty self-explanatory. What it means if we defer your application, we feel that you are still a strong candidate to the university. What we would like to see are 7 semester grades and any new information that is not reflected on your application. New test scores if those come in, but most likely we for sure want to see those 7 semester grades. We will then do a second holistic review and offer the decisions of admit, deny, or road to Rocky Top. And what those are, we have 2 pathways that we allow our students to eventually come to UT. This is offered in lieu of freshman admissions, and it's invite only. Our first program is Volunteer Bridge, and students, it's a dual admissions program between our community college in Knoxville and UT, and our UT campus. Students take 24 transferable credit hours at Pellissippi Community College for 1 year. But while they're taking those classes, they actually live on our campus and in our residence halls. So they get the experience of being a student outside the classroom. They get to do all the activities with intramurals, working out, student organizations, going to athletic events. And they live with other students in a learning community that are participating in this program. So at the end of the 24 transferable credit hours, you then would start at UT your 2nd year as a sophomore. We also have a program called Vertovol, which is an international program. We offer sites in Australia, New Zealand, Southeast Asia, Europe, Central America, and Hawaii. Given COVID this year, a lot of the programs were canceled, but a student can go overseas for 12 weeks and take two classes and obviously have that cultural experience. At the end of the 13 weeks, if they have a GPA of a 2.5 or higher, they can come to UT for the spring semester. So it's a quicker path to ultimately get to UT and attend the university. But you will be notified in your admissions if you are a candidate for one of these two opportunities. So looking at our tuition and cost of attendance. For a out-of-state student to come to UT, it is $43,540. You will see that breakdown of $31,684 for tuition and fees and $11,856 for room and board. Just to give you guys a heads up, that room and board is an average cost. I like to look at housing as cars. You know, you have what we're providing you is a 4-door sedan. It's going to get you where you need to go. It's got some bells and whistles. But if you want to upgrade to leather, sunroof, heated seats, you have to pay for that. So that's going to be the case with some of our newer residence halls where they may be a little more expensive. The other thing is with food on our campus, students are required to have 3 meals a day, and you get dining dollars that can be spent at our Qdoba, Panda Express, Chick-fil-A's, Starbucks, Subway, as well as a Steak and Shake on our campus. So our volunteer scholarship is for those students who apply with an ACT. That GPA begins at a 3.8 weighted core GPA. And as you will see, these awards are renewable for all 4 years. So for an out-of-state student, if they have a 3.8 with a 28 to a 29, they will receive $10,000 over 4 years. If they have a 30 to a 33, they will get $15,000 a year. And if they have a 34 to a 36, they will receive $18,000 a year. So right now, how this would work in terms of deadlines, if you have the weighted core GPA, but you may want to try to go from a 33 to a 34 on the ACT, you have until December to retake the ACT. If you have the ACT, but you may have a 3.75 GPA, you have the whole academic school year to get your GPA up, and then we will award you the scholarship after we receive that final high school transcript. We also have the Tennessee Explorer Scholarship as well. And these are start at a 3.6 core weighted GPA. And you'll see these ranges here, but a 3.6 to a 3.79 GPA will get a student, and a 28 to a 36 will get a student 7,500 renewable all 4 years. A 3.6 GPA or higher with a 24 to a 27 will get a student $4,000 a year, and a student with a 3.8 GPA with a 25 to a 27 will get a student $6,000 a year. These are not stackable with the volunteers scholarship. The other exciting thing that the one thing we are excited to offer this year is a Beacon Scholarship. And this is for those students who are applying test optional. And so, it's based on having a minimum 3.8 UT weighted core GPA, just like the volunteer scholarship. But it's based on the outstanding academic achievement a student has, extracurricular engagement, demonstrated leadership, and a commitment to their communities. So for those students that are applying test and not optional, you are eligible for the Beacon Scholarship and also those competitive scholarships that I talked about. Finally, I encourage you guys to come to the University of Tennessee and explore Rocky Top. We are doing on-campus tours, and so they are small. We are social distancing. And if you go on to visit.utk.edu, you can register for those events. If it is highlighted in green, that means there are tour spots that are available. In the past, if a family maybe was trying to come up for fall break or spring break and the date they wanted was full, we would try to accommodate them. but given, unfortunately, with the COVID stuff this year, we are not able to have that flexibility. So if you know a date now, I would encourage you to get that signed up sooner than later. It will be led by a student tour guide, and then there will also be a virtual information session as well. We just updated our virtual tour and it is awesome. So if you can't make it to UT right now, definitely check out the virtual tour and take advantage of that and learn a little more about our campus. We were actually founded in 1794, so we are 226 years old. We were actually founded first before the city of Knoxville. So there's a lot of history associated with the University of Tennessee. Our academic colleges are doing virtual information sessions, and so you can sign up for those on this website as well. And finally, I encourage you to chat with a student. We have a program called Unibuddy where you can talk with a student real time. You can meet up with a student that's out of state, ask them about their major if you have that interest, or figure out what student life is like at the university. They have to respond with you within a couple of hours. And so I encourage you guys to take advantage of that to really find out what our students think of the University of Tennessee. All of this information can be found at visit.utk.edu. Finally, here is my information as well as Shanae's information if anyone has any questions after today. Again, we encourage you to come and visit UT. That's probably the best, my advice in terms of fit. Walking around our campus and seeing what makes the University of Tennessee great to see if you can call it home for the next 4 years. So that's sort of what I have. Does anybody have any questions? So I got a question, and we do not have video game design at the university. So the question was, do we consider in-state tuition for out-of-state applicants? Unfortunately, no. If a student does go to, if the student would go onto our residency website, you can find out an FAQ, but the family needs to move to Tennessee for purposes other than trying to get tuition in-state for the next 4 years. When it comes to viola scholarships and music, yes, we do have music scholarships. That does require the audition process. And we have strings. We have a strings program on our campus. So students with viola and violin could get that opportunity for scholarship money. Those dollar amounts are going to vary based on what the department has. But yes, if you are a music major, you can definitely get scholarships.
If there are any other questions, feel free to pop them into the chat. We have just a couple minutes left, so I won't cut us off yet. Kevin, Shanae, this has been awesome. You've had some great info to share. So feel free. Looks like we have another question. So just put them into the Q&A and they will keep answering. We have about 5 minutes left.
So with the audition, it is all based on, you're going to do some, and again, depending on the situation, you know, we've done virtual Zoom auditions as well. But typically it consists of an interview with the faculty member, do some sight reading and scales, and perform a piece for the audition. So that's all, you come prepared on that end with that, but you're going to maybe do the sight reading and scales in front of the professor and then perform your piece.
Last call for any final questions. Definitely make sure that you write down their contact info so that you can reach out to either of them as you continue to have questions. All right, Kevin, I'm going to switch screens and I'm going to share the final screen here.
Okay.
So let's see. Let's do this. Okay, awesome. So thank you all for joining us. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you, Shanae. I learned a ton about University of Tennessee today. I had a delightful time. Also, orange is my favorite color, so I'm a little biased there. Thank you all for joining us. There will be a quick survey when you close out of this. So it's really easy, 4 questions. Just, was this helpful? How can we support you better in the future? Please fill it out. It's very helpful for us. And then, like I said, check out some more sessions. They're all listed on the moacac.org website. And this recording will also be there. So like I said, thank you for joining us. Go volunteers. Is it Vols? Do we call them Vols?
We do call them Vols. Yeah, go Vols.
Go Vols. Okay. Have a good night, everybody.